Hey everybody, welcome back to Brush with Coaching with me, Martin Carter. So one of the main reasons people come to me and ask me to work with them is because they want to make some kind of change. Maybe it's some change in their personal life, maybe it's their professional life, maybe it's in their team, in their organisation, in their company. And what I know about change is that it's hard. And that's what these people know about change, because one of the reasons they come to me is they've probably tried already on their own and they've decided they need some help and support. So what I find, whether it's New Year's resolutions or corporate strategy, the reason these things don't change, we're not successful in that change, is because we never really start. The reason 4 out of 5 people's New Year's resolutions fail is that 50 or 60% of them never really start. There's an experiment you might remember from school where you were given a block and a spring balance. And you pull the block along and you could read how much force it took to pull the block along on the spring balance. And what we find when we do that experiment is that static friction is greater than dynamic friction. That is to say that it takes more energy, more force to get the block moving than it does to keep it moving once it is moving. So static friction is greater than dynamic friction. And if we think about the word static, stasis, status quo, sticking, staying, it's a tendency to just be stuck. And if we want to unstick ourselves, we've got to put the effort and the energy in to overcome that static friction. And that's hard. And that's the reason most people don't effect change, because they equate hard with "I'll fail." So how do we overcome it? TV adventurer and Chief Scout Bear Grylls has got a great bit of advice in his survival guide for life. And what he says is, even in his life, he seems like a pretty motivated guy. Even in his life, sometimes he just struggles to get started. So he reaches for what he calls his 3-minute get-out clause. And what he says is, I can finish, I can stop, I can quit after 3 minutes, but I've got to start. So he makes a deal with himself that it's okay if it's as bad as you think it's going to be, if it's as hard as you think it's going to be, you can give up after 3 minutes, but you have to make a start. And of course what he finds is that once he's out running, once he's out reading, once he's out writing, once he's out speaking, whatever it is, once you're in your groove, once you've overcome the static friction, you want to keep going. You've broken the back, you've got over that first energy peak, that first obstacle peak, and you keep going because you're in your groove. So that's my advice for you today, or my thought to leave you with today. What do you need to do to overcome the stasis, the status quo, the stickiness, the static friction that has you stuck where you are? You don't need to be more talented. You don't need to be more energetic. You don't need to be more motivated. You just need to be determined to start.